Good afternoon. My name is Rodney LeBeau, and we are about to begin the Department of Procurement Services workshop, How to Navigate City Auctions. Let me first start by playing a video that gives you an overview of the City of Chicago salvage auction.
To sell outdated or decommissioned vehicles, equipment, and supplies to the public. These auctions also benefit the city by decreasing storage and disposal fees for many commodities. The auctions are one of the city's green initiatives, assisting in the repurposing of materials such as scrap metal, plastic, and wood. Some of the innovative examples of reuse include old fire hoses being repurposed to irrigate crops or fire hydrants used in modern artwork. The online auction process has proved to be a win-win in terms of eliminating waste and generating revenue. The auctions are hosted online to be more transparent and accessible to the general public. Items are posted online daily, Tuesday through Friday, and most of the items are available for bidding for 1 week from the day they are posted. Some of the common items auctioned include scrap metal, plastic and wood, vehicles and heavy equipment, decommissioned equipment, snow blowers or melters, fire hoses, compressors and generators, copier, ink and toner, and even decommissioned police fire boats. The auction page for each item contains detailed information including photos, description, bid history, and condition of the items. Before bidding, interested participants must register online. Registration includes setting up a username and password, phone number, and email address. The system will allow registered users to set up preferences and be notified when new items come online for auction. To start the bidding process, registered users begin by entering their desired bid amount for the item and clicking the Submit button. Before making an offer on an item, bidders should thoroughly read all the auction terms and conditions, including payment methods, pickup instructions, and item descriptions. All auction items are as is, but bidders can ask the city questions via an online feature before or during bidding. As a bid constitutes a contract, bidders are bound by all the terms and conditions. Shortly after an auction ends, the winner of the auction will receive an email informing them that they have won. It is the winner's responsibility to still pay payment by contacting DPS. Winners have 5 business days to pay for their item, and an additional 5 days to pick up the item. Late payments and or pickup may result in default, storage fees, or forfeiture of these items. All sales are final. There are no refunds, exchanges, or credits. Please note that the City of Chicago employees and their relatives are not permitted to participate in this program. The auctions have been and continue to be a huge benefit to the city and its residents. With these old or underutilized items being sold at auction, the city saves a substantial amount each year in hauling and disposal fees that would have accrued to removal of surplus items. Focusing on sustainability, these auctions keep items out of landfills, which they have a new use throughout the community. EPS works to continue to expand this program and promote it as one of the city's green initiatives. Want to learn more? For more information about the salvage auction program and how to bid, visit the city's website at www.cityofchicago.org/DPS and follow the links to the City of Chicago online auctions. For more information about DPS, visit our website at www.cityofchicago.org/DPS and check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube.
Alright, so that was our overview of how to navigate the DPS auctions. You can find that on YouTube at youtube.com/ChicagoDPS, and we have many videos there alongside the salvage auction. So first, we're going to start off with how to navigate to the salvage auction. This is the Department of Procurement Services homepage, www.ciachicago.org/DPS. So right here you will find icons for various ways to get around the website, but right here we want to click Show All and want to get to the online auctions. So if you click that, that will take you to public surplus. You can also get to salvage auctions through the button over here, as well as under What We Do, Auction Surplus Equipment and Materials. So we'll click this one. All right, so this is the public surplus website. So what we want to do first is we want to register for public surplus. So right here it says register to become part of public surplus. You would click right here. This will take you to the next page. And what you, most importantly, you must register as a user before bidding. Public surplus will call and email you to confirm your information. So don't wait until just before you're about to start bidding to register. As you can see here on the page, what's required is an email address, your name, address, city, state, etc. Also right here we have the phone number where you can call or send a text message to confirm. So create a username, password right there, and that would be the next step. So after that you'll have to verify your contact information. So also on this page you can select categories and regions and let public surplus notify you when something new comes up. Don't forget that that service is completely free, and if you're not ready, you don't have to set that up. Excuse me. All right, so back to the home page. So how do I bid? So simple auctions limit the auction to a single item or a lot of items. The highest bidder wins the item. All auction-related questions should be directed to the public surplus online question section. Please refrain from posting comments or opinions. Questions regarding pickup of an item should be directed to the Department of Procurement Services auction program, and that number is 312-754-4140. Once again, that's 312-745-4140. Issues with registration or website problems should be directed to publicsurplus.com using the chat feature. That would be right here in the corner. Just click that chat and you will have a live person from Public Surplus connect with you and hopefully resolve those issues. So continuing with how to bid. So we have featured auctions right here for various items, vehicles that you can select. So we will choose, let's choose the 2003 International truck. So this right here is a bid. There's the auction number here at the top, the name, time left, current price. So this is what you'll see when you locate an item that you would like to bid on. So if you look here, this is where you would put in your bid price. So you can enter the amount you want to bid on the item and click the submit button right here. Before you make an offer on an item, please thoroughly read all of the auction terms and conditions, including payment methods, pickup instructions, and item descriptions. That can all be found right here, terms and conditions. So if we click that, that will show you terms and conditions. Please read this. I emphasize that. Please read this and make sure you know what you are bidding on. Also, over here, we have something called the proxy bid. So proxy bidding is when you set up the maximum amount that you're willing to pay for an auction item. Public Surplus automatically increases the amount of your initial bid for you in for minimum increments set forth for each auction. So, for example, a motor is being sold that you would like to bid on. It's currently listed at $60 with a bid increment level of $5. You don't want to pay more than $100. The proxy bid will set up the first bid at $65 so that you are the current highest bidder. If another bid is made for $75, the proxy bid will automatically increase your bid amount to $80. It will continue doing this until it reaches your maximum bid amount of $100. Proxy bids are very useful for when you're unable to watch an auction to verify your bid status. If you have been outbidded, you will receive a notification through email. Closing bids. So if a bid is placed during the final 5 minutes of an auction, the end time will automatically extend for an additional 5 minutes. This will continue until no bids are placed during the last 5 minutes. Bids usually end between 1:30 and 3:30 p.m. Tuesday through Friday. So as you can see right here, this is when the auction started. This is where the auction ends. And as you can see, there's a note right here that this auction might extend. So just be aware of when this ends. Make sure that when you are bidding that you know that you're the highest bidder. So as I mentioned, terms and conditions are right here. Make sure you read these. Once again, very important. Other bidding information. So how do you know if you've won? Shortly after an auction ends, the winner of the auction will receive an email from publicsurplus.com telling them that they won. If you receive an email informing you that you've won an auction, it is your responsibility to facilitate payment. You can contact DPS at 312-745-4140 to arrange for a pickup. You also have 5 business days to pay for an item and an additional 5 business days to pick up your item. Late payment or pickup may result in loss of bidding privileges, storage fees, or forfeiture of bid deposit and or items. So say that you are bidding on an item and you want to know if you've been outbid. As soon as someone has placed a bid higher than yours, an email will be sent informing you that you've been outbid. If you have placed a proxy bid, you're only notified once someone has beat your maximum amount. Should a situation arise where you have to retract your bid, we have steps put in place for that. All bids on the Public Surplus Salvage Auction website are binding contracts. However, if you do feel that you have a legitimate reason to withdraw your offer, once again, you can contact the Department of Procurement Services at 312-745-4140 for further instructions. On the main bid page, we also have DPS's contact information. If DPS does allow the bid to be retracted, be aware that this cancels out any further bids you may make on this particular auction. Now, I don't know if we have a reserve price on this one, but in that situation, a reserve price is the lowest amount a seller is willing to accept for an item. So let's see, do we have? So that'd be so we don't have one on this one, but if an auction closes below the reserve price, neither buyer nor seller is required to complete this purchase. The reserve price is typically higher than the starting price of an auction. Public Surplus will not disclose the reserve price to buyers at any time. For auctions with reserve pricing, we will display a message next to the current price of the auction page telling you whether the reserve has been met or not. Also, if we look at this particular bid right here, there's something down here called a bid deposit, and it says right here required. So a bid deposit is always required when a bid is first placed. This is why credit and debit card information is requested when you're making your username and login and verifying. You'll also have to provide the credit and debit card information. So bid deposits usually range between $15 and $100. Public Surplus does not keep this information. Credit and debit cards are only used if bidders default on a bid. And then just a note too, a default is only determined by the Department of Procurement Services. So if we go back here, back to the home page, we'll have a list of everything that is currently being auctioned. As you can see, we have an auction right there that will be closing in 13 minutes. So what is auctioned and how is an item auctioned? So typical things that we'll see in an auction are scrap metal, vehicles, trucks, vans, fire hoses, generators, snow blowers, motors, carts, old street signs, various items. Most items are posted online daily, Tuesday through Friday, as I've said, and most items are available for bidding for 1 week from the day that they are posted. There are no bidder premiums and no taxes or fees, so keep that in mind. So let's see if we have a scrap one here. Here it is, sale of scrap. Great, perfect. So this is getting into my next part of it, the scrap vehicle auction. So vehicles that are sold for scrap are not to be returned to street usage. Titles may never be obtained for scrap vehicles, so keep this in mind when you see an auction such as this one for scrap vehicles. Bidding is restricted to buyers who have a scrap processing license, automobile rebiller's license, or automotive parts recycling license. Prospective bidders must submit this license at least 24 hours before bidding by fax, and that number is 312-745-4143. Once again, that's 312-745-4143. So all vehicles are without titles and must be crushed, recycled to the extent that they are rendered inoperative for street use. So buyers must comply with all applicable sections and subsections of 625 ILCS 5, Chapter 5. You can find more about this on our website. We have a PowerPoint presentation just in case you have any questions or follow-ups for it. So if you go back to our main website, the DPS website, you can find all PowerPoint presentations and you can read up on those laws. So we also have something called abandoned vehicles as well. So vehicles are sold as is and there are no refunds. So make sure, once again, you see the terms and conditions and other unidentified issues that may be present. As you can see in some of these, there's information right here about the description of what you're bidding for, as well as pictures. So these are pictures of some of the scrap cars that are being sold. So make sure, as I said again, you are reading through specifically the terms and conditions to make sure that you know what you're bidding on. So once you have made a bid and you're ready to proceed, we have something called an auction affidavit. So everyone will be required to fill out a surplus equipment public auction affidavit. And this just is for us to confirm the following: that you are not a city employee or relative, that you are not debarred from doing business with the City of Chicago, or that items will not be used for city contracts. And buyers of scrap vehicles will be required to fill out a surplus scrap vehicle public auction affidavit. The winning bidder must sign the affidavit, and there are no exceptions to that. So everyone has to fill out this affidavit. And as I just mentioned, that City of Chicago employees and their relatives are not permitted to participate in this program. So payments. So once you have placed your bid and you've won your item, all sales are final. So there are no refunds, no exchanges, or credits. Once you've purchased, that's it. So there are no third-party payments that are accepted. Payments must be facilitated by the winning bidder. You must present your award email with your payment to ensure accurate processing. So some of the methods of payment that we accept are cash, cashier's check, certified checks, money orders, and credit cards. Now, if you are paying with credit card online, you could only pay up to $9,999 online. If you use a credit card when you're picking up an item at the salvage auction, for say, you can use your credit card for more than just that. But if you're doing anything online with online payment, it's only that amount.
And revenue centers.
Oh, and revenue centers as well. So, lastly, we will not accept personal or business checks either. So make sure that you are using one of those payment options that I listed. So payments are accepted at the following Department of Revenue payment centers. And those payment centers are open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. We have a payment center at 2550 West Addison, 4770 South Kedzie, and 2006 East 95th Street. You can also do payments at the City Hall. That's also Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then City Hall, 121 North LaSalle Street, and that's in room 107A. So receipts of payments as well as affidavits should be presented at the time of pickup at the salvage yard located at 10101 South Stony Island. So cash is never accepted at this location and only can be utilized at the Department of Revenue payment centers. So this pretty much concludes our salvage auction workshop. You can find more information, as I said, at our website. That's www.cityofchicago.org/DPS. For more on the PowerPoint for this workshop, it's also available at thecityofchicago.org/DPS events. If you have any questions, email us at dps.feedback@cityofchicago.org. We also have social media as well. Make sure you are following us. We post bid advertisements and agendas, upcoming workshops and events, and new policies and procedures that affect the vendor community. So make sure you follow us on Facebook, and that's facebook.com/ChicagoDPS, and also on Twitter at twitter.com/ChicagoDPS. So as I said, once again, thank you very much for listening to this workshop. If you have, as I said, if you have any more questions, please consult dps.feedback@cityofchicago.org. Thank you and have a great afternoon.